Hello and welcome to Go, my favorite sports team. Today, we're stressed.
It's true.
It's very true. We're going to be doing something a little bit differently, but first, my name is Markiplier. This is Tyler,
That's
the
me.
Apocalypse Shide. So it's going to be a little bit of a shorter episode today because we are very, very busy boys. Next week we're going to the creator class, the both of us. Oddly enough, we're not doing Go at the creator class, even though that would be super cool.
Yeah.
But there's no time and it's not in the schedule, and so we just have to make do with what we have right now. And we are racking our brains being like, oh, what could we talk about? Oh, what sport thing? Oh, we don't have time. I have to I'm busy filming a movie and then I have to fly out for that. I think tonight we're just gonna talk. We're just going to talk about what ails us. We're going to vent our frustrations. If it talks about sports, that's fine. But this is a bone for all you non-sports lovers out there. He may have a master's degree in sports. And next week, we're going to prove it. Maybe. We're going to see if that happens. But today, I think we're just going to talk. How the hell are you?
It's been a week.
Yeah, been a week. Yeah.
Good things, bad things, indifferent things. My body is insanely sore because I've been doing boxing training.
That's good. That's good.
Pretty intensely. I got a personal trainer. I didn't know if I told you this, Mark.
That's awesome.
She absolutely kicked my ass yesterday. And then I did the 5 hours at the Cloak photo shoot. And then I just laid on the floor afterwards.
You were at the Cloak photo shoot for 5 hours?
There's a lot to do. You know me. When I'm on set, I'm everywhere. I'm walking around. I like talking to people, seeing what's going on, throwing ideas out there if they're allowable without telling people what to do, obviously. And so I got there immediately after showering and then leaving after my personal training and commit my all to it. I was very active. And so by the time I got home, I was just like, my body doesn't want to move.
Yeah, no, that's been me on set. Is just like I'm more active than I was on space, just in the terms of like physical demand of going around and figuring out what the next thing is, and also just more performing. And oh, it's been exhausting. This whole month so far that I've been filming has just been like way more exhausting than I ever thought it would be. Because I mean, I didn't think it was going to be easy, but after space, I was like, nothing could be harder than that.
That's Murphy's Law, right?
I know.
What can go wrong will go wrong. What's the principle where if you think it can't get any worse,
butter always lands down, something like that.
Yeah.
If you butter toast, it will always land butter side down or something like that. I think that's Murphy's Law.
I can only imagine, because for space, you wrote it, obviously, but like you weren't funding it. You weren't coordinating every single particular aspect of it. I feel like this one, you've just been so much more involved because it's been and there's been so many more different people saying stuff.
I'm yawning. That proves how tired I am. See, it proves it. No, but yeah, it's just been a different beast. Great learning experience. Wouldn't trade it for anything. But man, trying to do all these other things. You know, it just like, it stresses me out to no end just that I haven't been able to even have time to upload videos. I literally have not had time for a month, and I'm just like, I promised this time would be different. I would just record simple things. I can't even find time to record like 15-minute videos. Just like, that's how little time I have.
Well, and on top of that, like, obviously there's the requirements of both podcasts, and every single time we've recorded, like the last 4 weeks, it's been like, I really got to go afterwards. I'm like,
I know. Yeah.
That's why I've been like, when you text me and it's like, when do you want to record? I'm like, this is when I'm available, but also like, you let me know and I'll work it out because your schedule's insane.
Yeah, and sometimes I feel bad about that, and I'm super glad like that, you know, to have this opportunity. We have video on Spotify. If you actually are watching on Spotify, you can tweak a little setting, or I don't know, rotate. I don't know.
I think you click like there's a section at the top that's like video, and you just click that. But the only thing I've seen is the trailer for Go, because I haven't even had a chance to go and listen to Distractable.
Oh yeah,
and watch it over there.
Yeah, it's been a beast, which is why I was just like, man, I just kind of want to talk without a bid. I don't want anything to like next week's episode we'll have a bit, and I'm going to be grilling this man about the supposed master's degree that he has. But no jacuzzis this week. I think it's just time for like, what out there are you interested in now? What piques your curiosity?
For whatever reason, music has been calling to me again. And so I'm actually I still got a ton to do, but I'm going to start taking traditional guitar lessons, like classical guitar.
Like Spanish style?
Yeah. Because it's the motion and the actual like crazy finger picking and everything that goes with it is so unique. And I just want to build a great foundation of being able to do that, and then be able to expand it to a steel string guitar and expand that just so that I can play.
That's quite a target to set. I mean, I have very limited experience with guitar, and I stopped a while ago because it stopped calling to me. But yeah, no, that's quite a challenge. Do you think you're up to it?
I mean, my goal basically is much like you started when you started with guitar. You committed to what, like an hour a day,
something like
practicing
that.
on it.
Yeah.
So my goal is to kind of try and do that this year, because the other thing that's been weighing on me is, we talked about it on the podcast. I said, this is the year that I'm going to showcase everything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to show people what I'm capable of, and I haven't done anything. I'm going to be honest. I have yet to do anything. I haven't been able to get back to streaming. I haven't been able to do a lot of stuff. Just different things have popped up. Different elements has been there. I mean, stress of working and trying to come up with episode ideas, or my own health issues. Like, I had a colonoscopy 2 weeks ago.
You had a colonoscopy? You had a camera up your ass?
Yeah. It was my first ever colonoscopy. Just because it went smoothly. I was asleep during it.
How was it?
It's clean, no issues.
That's good. That's good.
But also concerns me because I had issues, which is why I had the colonoscopy and I got stuff checked. But it's very good that there was nothing there. They took a couple biopsies and those were clear. But it was one of those things where it's like when my tonsils swelled up. They still don't know why it was swollen and wouldn't go down. No steroids or anything. It just was, it's swollen. We don't know why. There's no bacteria. It's not infected. And that's what they left it as.
God, I'm reminded of a very familiar episode of Distractable called We're Getting Older. I'm wondering what could possibly be the cause of these mysterious ailments. Oh, I don't know.
No, but I'm definitely getting more invested in music, and then also film. I've been doing more stuff with like creative thought processes and where I want to go with my career moving forward. And so I've started looking into like more like acting lessons, getting back into improv.
Yeah, where do you want to go? You want to act? I know you were talking about voice acting a while ago, but you want to act?
I want to do both. I definitely like the easier gateway for me right now is music and getting into voice acting, because I feel like that is more capable on my current standing in the way that I am now. Whereas getting into acting, I have a lot of work to do. I know people are probably going to be like, "Oh, you acted in all this stuff," and I'm like, I was working with Mark. You have no idea how many things that he fixed about my terrible acting.
No. That's how everyone is. Like, I wouldn't say that your acting is just abysmal or anything that it needs to be fixed in editing, especially for a show where it's one takes, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I keep forgetting that that's not a normal thing.
Yeah, usually you have coverage to save your ass on those things. They get a nice shot from you from behind, you know?
They don't see my mouth moving at all.
Yeah. Oh man, it's I think that there's plenty of potential. It's a tough world like to get into, period. Like, acting is definitely not an easy career to go into. But having done some acting myself and, you know, working with other actors, like, it's a rewarding one. It is very rewarding, especially like beyond just acting, like the creative process in general of like telling stories. Storytelling is really what it's all about. Is like being able to craft a story and just tell it and make people feel something. That's what I've always wanted. That's why I like doing this. But God, it's tough sometimes. It's tough sometimes. It is.
Yeah. What about you? What have you been doing when you are able to have any relaxing time? Which to me, I don't think you have any, but
I don't. Nah, No. It's literally like I wake up at about 5:30, go to the studio, start working immediately. There's no time for anything else because there's so much prep. And then it's like we have 12-hour days. So we film for 12 hours doing all that we can. And then when we're done, I have to like get out of costume and makeup, which takes time. It takes about like, honestly, these days, like 30 minutes just to get out of everything. And then I go home, and then Amy and I, we shot list. We basically plan the next day. That's the evening, is like we plan the next day, go to bed to wake up at 5:30, and that's like the filming schedule for us.
Yeah, I remember that was pretty much it for In Space too, but I imagine this one's even more so because of the different things involved.
At least with In Space, there was time in the evenings to hang out. Like we would get food, and like you were there, and we would just order DoorDash, and we'd all just chill and relax at the end of the day, and then everyone would go their separate ways, and we'd do a little planning. But this one, oh man, it's just like for another hour when we get back, it's like you got to feed the dogs, take care of them, and then plan and then plan and then plan, and then I have to take a shower because even the cleanup doesn't get everything, so I have to like shower to get everything off so I can be ready for the next day. And then it's just like, yeah, there is zero time, and it's stressful.
Yeah,
it is, but it's also very rewarding,
especially when you get to see the finished product and work with people that are passionate and that you're passionate about something. That
Oh, I gotta show you after this. I made a teaser trailer.
Oh yeah.
In my free time.
Is that going to eventually go up on your YouTube?
It might be up already by the time people hear this episode. I'm not sure. Yeah, it's very, very soon, right around the corner. I'm super excited about this one. It's taking it to another level, but also like another level of work required. But yeah, it's a fun one.
Oh, did you see, I for whatever reason on Twitter, somebody tweeted like, Mark's doing stunts for this one. And I literally just responded. I'm like, he did stunts in Heist and In Space too. Like, not discounting the fact that he's doing stunts here, but like, he did them then. Technically, we did them in Who Killed as well. They weren't.
Yeah.
Above the bar or whatever.
Yeah, I totally forgot. Yeah, we rented those giant crash pads and what an unregulated thing that entire shoot was. That was nuts. And then I was afraid to let you fall off the banister because I was like,
I was so mad at you guys for.
But you had just hurt your knee. Like,
I know,
just exploded your knee.
I wanted to do it.
I know you wanted to do it, but you just exploded your knee. Like you had surgery. It was really recent to that, wasn't it?
Oh, it was pretty recent, but I think I re-injured it. And that's why you guys didn't want me to do it. But you're talking to the person who chose to play full contact collegiate football after a kidney transplant. If I want to do something, I want to do it.
I had a sneak. While our backs were turned, did you just jump off the balcony?
No, because
maybe you should have.
Maybe, but I knew some people would have been mad at me.
It wasn't even that fun anyway. It was just like, because it was no farther a fall really than like going off of the stairs, like jumping to the bottom. But it's just like, yay, on the back. We got way more crash pad than was ever needed.
No, it took up like that entire area. Luckily, that area was big enough. But
yeah, that was the craziest thing, man. It's a wonder that shoot ever happened.
Do you remember? Was it you almost actually fell when you were filming the Jim and Jim stuff on the outside?
Oh, I didn't almost fall, but it was like that would have been a painful fall. Yes, that was the many things. But honestly, I kind of miss that style of filmmaking, which that honestly truly was filmmaking. What we were doing there with Who Killed Markiplier. We're talking about Who Killed Markiplier, by the way.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to, after I'm done with this, and you do a big set and stuff like that, I want to do it again where it's just like we all rent an Airbnb and we just film but to another level. We film an entire movie, but we all just go out in the middle of Bufu nowhere for 2 weeks and just like, we're just filming this. Whatever we have at the end of it is what we have. Boom, done, and then we go home. I remember looking at Who Killed, and I was like, man, I can't believe we were there for what? We were there for 10 days, something like that.
10 days, yeah. It was originally going to be 8, but we got a 2-day extension because we needed it.
Yeah, and it was just like, man, 10-day shoot. Whoo! Here I am entering month 2 of this filming.
In all fairness, Mark, I got maybe 3 hours of sleep every night
when
we did Who Killed.
We did not sleep much at all. Because it would be like we'd be done filming and then it would like, again, with stress, we just all sit in the hot tub. And I was also trying to practice guitar at that exact same time because we were going on tour like right after that. It was, that was insanity, but I loved it.
Yeah, and I had to be up early to make sure I got all the breakfast and everything ready for everybody because I was doing that.
Oh, yeah. Wow. You were doing catering and crafty at the same time. You were the real butler, even though the chef wasn't the chef.
You got to remember, I booked the Airbnb. We had Evan was running and doing stuff, and then...
Like the guy who played the caretaker, he had to shuttle him 2 hours back and forth.
Good thing he was only there for that one day. I felt so bad for him that day.
Felt bad for Evan.
Yeah, Evan. Not him that much, but Evan. Evan drove so much.
Yeah, he really, and his car broke down on the way out there.
Then there was the rental van. We rented equipment and the crash pad.
Man.
Evan had to deal with the crash pad because they didn't have it ready when we had the rental van.
Oh, it's a wonder that ever happened.
The amount of equipment we put in that van. Jeez.
Yeah, let's do that again. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, let's do that again.
Hey, if I'm not the producer this time, I'm on board.
No, you producer. You get to be producey. That's what you get to be. No, but I miss doing stuff like that. And of course, I like in my future career of storytelling, there are some stories that like you don't need a big set to do. Some are really just like simple stuff. And it's like, I know that you want to do stuff. I know that Ethan wants to do stuff. It's just like, yeah, it's time to just like go and fuck around in the woods for a little bit. Just make something. That's all I like to do. Just make things. It's just fun. But man, is it stressful sometimes. I don't know, but it's good though. It's good, right? Some stress is good stress.
I mean, in all fairness, do you feel the same way about tour? Because like when we did the Australian tour, that's the way that it was so relaxing. It was so chill. It was so fun as opposed to our show, bus, show, bus, show, bus, show, bus, show, bus.
Yeah, it was definitely wasn't profitable. But that's fine. I never went into it with like profit in mind anyway. But it was much more relaxed. It was kind of like how a lot of other people that we know probably take tours. Like they use it as an excuse to just like go places, which is fine. Even that, I was just like, yeah, it's cool to just like be able to do this with friends and go out there and just have a good time on stage. And at that point, we had dialed in the show so much that it was easier to do.
I do miss sharing the stage with all of you guys, though.
I don't want to go on tour again. If you're asking me, I say no.
I'm not asking you to go on tour again, but I do miss like sharing the stage with you guys, doing improv with everybody. Like the greatest thing about that is just the recognition that no matter what, in those moments, we had so much trust in each other that we had each other's back. We'd make a joke and the other person would be able to roll with it. And that was so fun.
I think it was it Australia that you and I did in the change bit where we were glass transporting in
I don't know if it was that or if it was Europe. It was one of the two.
I feel like that was Australia because we've talked about this before, but it was just like with Bob and Wade and I think Ethan were on stage doing change that we just like busted in the scene behind them. We stole the show right out from under them.
We were like moving a couch or a table or
we were moving a big piece of glass, I think is what it was.
Yeah.
And so
they were construction workers. That's what it was.
Yeah. And they had no clue of why the audience was laughing when they didn't tell a joke. They were like, we must be really funny.
Yeah, it wasn't until the end when somebody turned around and saw me humping the floor.
It wasn't until you started fucking the glass. Just like, they were like, hey, wait, something's going on back there.
And they were also confused why Dan was calling change when he was calling change.
Yeah, anyway, it was a good time, but I like, oh man, tour even in of itself is like, it's part of that same thing where I can't really take a vacation because I get just like antsy and I'm like, oh man, sitting around waiting. Ugh, I like what's an hour on stage when I could be 12 hours on a sound stage constantly working. Now that's a vacation for me.
That's life.
That's life right there. But yeah, I do miss that. So I'm hoping that after this one's done, and it still has a lot of like, obviously I got to edit it and all that jazz. But once it's done, it's like, man, I'm going to downsize the size of the scope of the things that I'm doing because there's a nice payoff of doing something really big. But I thought this idea was going to be small. I thought it was going to be just like a small one. So I'm just gonna, I say, like, get a nice camera, go out in the woods for a bit, and come up with a story, and just go to town. Just go to town. But other than that, it's just like, instead of just talking about stress, what do you do to relieve stress these days?
I mean, the biggest one for me is probably actually boxing.
Boxing? Mm-hmm.
The release that's had. As far as like emotional stuff, I've been trying to find, I recently found a show on Netflix called From Scratch. Mm-hmm. And around this time is when my mom was in hospice.
Yeah.
This time of year. And so like those feelings still come back for whatever reason. It's like an echo of that time period. And I found this show called From Scratch, and it emulated the experience that I had kind of with my mom in some ways. Not to spoil anything, but basically there's a story of cancer that occurs within it. Mm-hmm. And going through chemo, and that it's beaten, which my mom was cancer-free in February after she had her emergency hysterectomy in December of 2017. And then in 2018, it recurred in like May, and she started back up chemo again. And so like that sort of happened. They had 7 years, but then it was the going through the process, and then people doing tests and all the different medical issues that occurred with my mom when she was going through, seeing what they could do before she went fully on hospice. And it was just, everything emulated it, and it allowed me to have this cathartic emotional release without it being like the reality of it. And of course, in movies, they make death so much smoother than it actually is in real life.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so when that happened, I literally remember crying and saying, I wish that's how it was in real life. I wish that's how it was. But it allowed me to have an emotional release that normally I have pent up around this time of year. Mm-hmm. And I think it's made me feel better, but it's hard to say.
Yeah, I was about to say, I asked you how you relieve stress, right? Relieving stress. Let's make a masturbation joke or something. No, it's too real. I get you.
No, but exercise is the primary way for me. It always has been, probably always will be. Mm-hmm. Talking to people helps too.
I always I find an instant release of stress when people are able to see what I've been working on. Like I get an instant I could go for 1 million more miles. Like I could keep going, with this. And so with the trailer, it's almost out. And just being able to talk about it and being able to just actually be open about it and start sharing things, finally people get to know what this is about, and people get to see what's going on here, and people get to really feel it. And it's instantly that's where I get my energy. I'm not an extrovert, but I guess that is kind of an extroverted source of energy of other people getting a look into what I'm doing. But other than that, no, I have not had tons of ways to relieve stress, just because it has been just nonstop work, which is why I just wanted to sit down and have a chat, which is very nice.
I should order you a bob, so you it's like a
the punching dummy.
Yeah,
bob with
just so you get back.
Man, I'll tell you the best diet I've had so far, because I was going into this trying to lose weight, get in shape more rather for the role, and there was literally a coordinated effort to constantly feed me throughout shooting. They still do this because I was not able to keep weight on, and I was just dropping, and so my costuming, they would just be 2 weeks into it, I had lost waste just because I had been working so much and had no time to eat. So the crafty that we have is amazing, incredible. The guy Kevin is just outstanding. But he started cooking me meals at the end of the day.
No,
literally. And I would be in my dressing room, and I would just be getting unchanged, or I'd be in the makeup room and I would be getting makeup taken off. And he would walk in and be like, "Sorry for the delay. Here's your filet mignon that I had to sear the hell out of it on a toaster or something." But it was incredible. It was an incredible steak. And he's like, "How did you do this? There's not even a kitchen. There's not even a stove in there."
Kevin was the crafty for space, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's so good.
He's so good. And
he remembers everybody's, and I mean everybody's, coffee in the morning.
Yes, he is outstanding. Which we also have crafty, and they provide coffee. And no disparaging to the crafty coffee, because it's fine, it's good coffee. But he's like, no, don't drink that. I'll make you an espresso. Do you want an Americano? Do you like Americano? What kind? Do you like with water or cream? And I'm like, okay. No, it's the people on the set have just been outstanding, and I'm just so delighted. And we really started to hit our stride recently. We really started to get ahead of schedule, which was not a thing that was happening for a while there. So actually, I'm very happy, and I'm in a good place with all that. I think it's really coming together.
That's good.
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of stress when so much was happening all at once early on. So
yeah, it definitely was. But in the aspect of keeping our stress levels low, we're going to start wrapping up this episode, because this is a simple, short one, because we have lots to do. But why don't you, on the subreddit, go to reddit.com/r/gmfst and tell us how you relieve stress, or what's stressing you these days. Let's all just have a little moment and share what's going on in our lives.
If retail therapy is for you, store.gmfst.com.
Wow.
We have pins.
Wow.
We have foam fingers coming soon if they're not already up.
Wow. Oh, what a plug. What a plug. Actually, no, you should go to store.gmfst.com. Get the pin set. You can say nuance whenever you want. You can have Tyler's head. You can have my head. You can prove to everyone that you finger sports. We all finger sports. So be sure to check it out. There's also posters, banners, there's hats. There's the infamous I Finger Sports hat, which I didn't bring here with me. I'll have to buy another one. Ding! And you can watch us now on Spotify, video exclusively on Spotify. Obviously, you can still hear our delightful voices wherever you are. But if you want to see our faces and see how stressed we are and see what the ravages of time have done to us, you can check out Spotify.
I don't have anything to add, so.
All right. Next week. Does Tyler have a master's degree? No or yes?
For a second, I thought you were just going to say no and then cut it off.
Will, cut it off there.
No!
He said it!